You are now plugged into Hooked on Science with Bruce and Tony Khan.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Hooked on Sonics. I am one of your two hosts, Bruce, and over there is the Tone Capone. Um, we've got a fantastic show again for you this week. To this week's show, it's going to be the battle of between dark and light. We've got Saint Vitus, Born Too Late, and Jimmy Buffett's last studio album that he ever did, Equal Strains on All Parts. Also, we got some music news and uh, little history things, and of course, some drinks. Before we get to all that, Tony, how are you?
Good evening.
Good
I am
evening.
fine.
Excellent.
I am fine. I am a little worse for wear. I mean, you were obviously up in town here recently, and you know what transpired as far as a friend of mine. Special shout out goes to longtime friend of mine, Chris Milburn, for hooking me up with a couple of really nice items that he had laying around and just needed to get out of his basement and stuff. Um, Ended up with a really nice stereo, an old school mid 90s Pioneer stereo with 101 disc CD changer, two tower speakers, amplifier, receiver, and a cassette deck. So I may get to looking around for some cassettes, maybe clean that cassette deck up and see if that eventually works whenever I'm out. If you're out anywhere and you see a cassette that you think I might like next time you want to bring in town, man, grab them. I'd love to test this thing and see if it works. I haven't listened to a cassette in freaking aeons. But yeah, I can also hook up the idea of the record player to it. We've talked about that. I got the TV hooked up to it tonight and got it all situated in the garage. But it sounds pretty freaking good. Picked up a few new CDs. We were just talking about that. I picked up the Pink Floyd "Wish You Were Here" CD. Picked up Toby Keith's 35 big hits. Picked up this country collaboration album on Outlaw Country, and then damn, I can't remember what else. Oh, Jim Croce's greatest hits, just because it's a greatest hits album I've had around me since I was a kid.
Yeah,
I love Jim Croce. I always have.
Yeah, that's a guy that went way too soon. It'd be interesting to see how his career would have progressed.
Yeah,
because he still had a lot left in the tank. It seemed like.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we lost. God, man, he was playing crash too, wasn't he?
Cancer. Can't. I don't know.
I want to say him and one of his cohorts were in an accident of some sort.
You know what? You may be right. You're probably right on that.
Yeah.
If anyone knows for sure, they can always comment on the video after they've watched this. Yeah. Tell us what idiots we are in Jim Croce history.
I just remember when we did the draft, I looked up and it kind of explained cause of death, and I want to say he was in an accident with a band member.
Okay.
Maybe a whole get up, man. It might have been just him and one other dude, kind of like the whole Bourbon Crow thing.
Yeah.
So. Oh yeah, but cool. Other than that, man, that's been pretty cool. That's what I've been doing. Back's a little worse for wear, but we keep on trucking, right?
That's right.
Cool.
We don't die, we multiply.
Right. Did you have a good visit up here while you were up here?
Yeah, man. It was cool to get back into Columbus for a little bit. Got to hit up one of my old favorite pizza joints, Josie's Pizza. Hit up a couple of really cool record stores that one of them's an absolute staple in Columbus, Used Kids Records. Used to be on campus down on High Street, but they had moved. I think there was a fire years ago, and I think they moved over to Summit Street, so just outside of campus, but still real close. Picked up some really cool stuff there, and then Lost Weekend Records, a little further up on North High Street in Clintonville. So shout out to those two record stores. Really, really good guys. Really knowledgeable. Me and the guy who Lost Weekend Records, we're having a pretty cool discussion on the Rolling Stones. So
nice.
Yeah.
I saw you picked up that Sticky Fingers album.
Yeah. Yep.
Does it have the zipper? Does it have the zipper cover?
Yeah. So while we're on that, let me show you what I got. First one, GNR Lies.
Great album.
On colored vinyl.
Great album.
Fantastic album.
Hey.
Hey.
That's obviously a re-release, right?
That is a re-release.
Is 1 in a Million on there?
Yes. In its entirety.
Interesting.
Yep. The second thing I got was The Doors' Other Voices. This was the album, the first album that they released after Jim Morrison died. So it's just Ray Manzarek, John Densmore, and Robbie Krieger. Primarily Manzarek doing the vocals with Robbie Krieger kicking in on some of that. It's not a great album, but I want part of the collection. So here is the aforementioned Sticky Fingers with the first pressing zipper. And if you want to become a premium member to Hooked on Sonics, we'll let you see what's behind the zipper. Phenomenal album, by the way. Not a bad song on it. And I was doing a re-listen to this thing this morning. Tony, I can definitely see why this is your favorite Stones album. It's fantastic.
Front to back, dude.
Yep.
Front to back.
Yep.
My dad always referred to that as that was the Stones blues album.
Yes. Yep, for sure.
Bottom line, they tapped into some serious blues work there. Yep. And it is definitely my favorite Stones album.
The other thing I picked up, and it actually ties into Sticky Fingers, this thing right here was a jam session recorded during Sticky Finger sessions. It's called Jammin' with Edward. And it had Nicky Hopkins, Ry Cooder. I don't know if you're familiar with Ry Cooder, but he's a phenomenal guitar player. Mick Jagger, Bill Wyman, and Charlie Watts. So they were in the studio waiting around for Keith to do his thing. And they just decided to just jam on. And then they ended up releasing it. So really cool inner sleeve here with the logo on both sides. This is actually really hard to find. It took me a few years to find this like out in the wild. So pretty cool. So
is that Sticky Fingers album a first pressing?
I believe so. If it's not a first, it's definitely a second because it does have the working zipper.
Did they re-release it with a zipper?
No. If they did, it would be like an anniversary edition, but this is an original, and first one or two.
That's nice, man. That's a cool haul if it's original, man.
Yep.
That album was done in 76 or 78.
71.
Really?
Yep.
I was way off. Damn. Yep.
And then the last thing I got, I'm going to save for the end of the show because it's going to be your album pick for next week.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good haul, man.
Dude, it was fantastic. Again, anyone in the Columbus area, or even if you're visiting, go to Used Kids Records, go to Lost Weekend Records. Both of them just really cool places. Never know what you'll find.
There's your plug.
There you go.
Lost Weekend and Used Kids.
Mm-hmm.
Used Kids been a staple of Columbus since I was in high school, at least, and probably longer.
Oh yeah,
they were one of the OG shops up on campus. I've delivered dozens of flyers into that place at times. That place is just. I remember it being downstairs and being packed and just packed. Like it just smelled like old records. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So, well, remember there was Used Kids up top, and then down the bottom was the Used Kids Annex. The Used Kids Annex that's where you could find the really obscure, really cool shit in there. And now it's all just one big store. Yeah, it's cool. I love that
And you
place.
know what's funny, man, is I can't even say for sure that that's the earliest place that I remember them, because there was another record short store closer to me on 8th and High. It wasn't on 8th and High. I lived on 8th or 9th and High, and just a few blocks up. I want to say that was a Used Kids, and then it relocated to the older building.
Hmm.
The building that it was in was a newer building. I don't know exactly what happened with it, but I could be wrong. I know there were several record stores up on campus. You know, I'm actually surprised you didn't go to the one of all. Why didn't you go to Magnolia?
You know, the last few times that I've been in Magnolia, it's a little corporatized. I haven't really liked a lot of their selection.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, but it is definitely not like it used to be. Couple other record stores that used to be the freaking bomb down there was Johnny Go's House of Music.
I remember House of Music. It's
Dude,
not there anymore.
No.
Oh, I wonder if he didn't survive the pandemic.
I don't know. Since they corporatized OSU campus, it's turned to shit. But yeah, Johnny Goes, man, I could find all sorts of cool shit in there. And then back in the day when we were kids, there was an old man and his dog on the corner of High Street in Chittenden called Goldmine Records. That band, you know, he had a really cool collection, and being a kid, just getting into music and records and stuff, he took his time to really explain things, and he had some really cool stuff. So
correct.
There you go.
Yeah, they were one that I would drop off flyers for the flyer run too. Johnny Go's House of Music.
Yep.
Really cool shop. Man, there was another place up there that was right on the corner. If you knew where Eddie George's Bar and Grill, there's a long strip of shops. There used to be a Subway there. There was a record store there.
Yeah, it was upstairs.
Comic book store there.
Oh, there was Monkey's Retreat. The Monkey's Retreat was the comic book store. The record store. What was that record store? You actually went upstairs, and yeah, that had some cool shit in there too.
That was a cool record store too, man.
Yeah.
Like when I lived on campus, about the time that the Danzig stuff was coming out, like Danzig, How the Gods Kill and stuff like that. Yep. That's where I would go pick up my albums from, because it was the closest one to the house. And that dude would always let me, he would always keep me abreast of what was coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man, I wish I remember what the hell that was.
God, man, do you remember? So since we're on that kick, let's talk about West. Buzzard's Nest.
Yeah, I vaguely remember Buzzard's Nest.
Dude, that was my earliest recollection of a great record store.
Yep.
You had Coconuts.
Oh yeah.
Remember Coconuts?
Oh, of course.
What else did we have?
Media Play.
Well, we had Media Play. What was the other one over Camelot? Camelot
yeah.
Music. Yeah, we had Camelot Music too. God, man, all these stores from the way by, man, they're gone. Yep. They're just gone. That's crazy, man.
All in the name of progress.
I am glad that music still exists. I am glad that there are still. I find it really cool that we've gotten to a point with audio that we're back to people wanting to buy albums.
Yeah.
I don't see cassettes making a comeback. I think CDs will, always be around for the most part. Other than that, everybody's gone to the Spotify or some digital form of streaming. And just I like being able to touch physical media sometimes.
No, I absolutely do, and I appreciate, and I do have Spotify. I've got the premium membership. I enjoy Spotify, especially on my drive and everything else. But there is something to a physical copy of something, and for vinyl especially, I just love it. Here's love it.
Thing with digital, bottom line with digital, if you're downloading the MP3 version of an album, all you've got is a digital file. You don't have all of the liner notes, all of the work that went into the album. You don't have that physical copy of, you know, the media material that was meant to go along with the album. So like a lot of times if you get this is a very valuable lesson. I learned this over just this past year. Excuse me. Went and seen Vibrator 3 fucking times, right? And I'm usually pretty good about picking out lyrics in a song. I cannot nail down fucking Matthias's lyrics for shit. Like I've get bits and pieces, and I can't put together a cohesive sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So I go and I see them, and I bought their CD or the MP3 digitals from their Bandcamp.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm like, dude, I need to know the words. He's like, dude, buy the album. The words are in the album. All right, fuck it, I'll buy the album.
Yeah.
No disrespect to them, but damn, man, I was just like, he's got a point. You know,
Yeah.
there's just something that you lose when you do the digital stuff. And I like I like to have the digital just because, let's be honest, your record collection takes up a probably good source of
yeah.
Your record collection takes up a pretty good source of space.
It's not terrible though. Right now, it's not terrible.
But it can grow to terrible.
Yes.
And if you know me, once I get to fucking deep diving collecting on shit, dude, for my love of music, it'd be bad.
You got a garage.
It'd be bad, dude. Yeah, but you don't want to store your albums in the garage in the heat and the cold, heat and the cold, heat and the cold. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, for the most part, I'm pretty cool with the fact that I got that DVD or that CD player in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to only fill it with, about 100 fucking CDs. Everything else I can listen to digitally or stream it to it from YouTube or from my phone.
Yep.
But I'm just going to put something in, good music to play in the background when we're out there playing games or I'm out there cooking or something. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Next move.
What are you drinking?
What am I drinking this evening?
Yes, sir. Podcast professionals, ladies and gentlemen.
Give me a second here. What am I drinking this evening?
Yes, sir.
I may have to ask my lovely wife to bring me up something, so bear with me here.
Well, okay. Well, while you're waiting on all that, I'll tell you what I'm drinking. So, as I was heading out of Columbus, heading home, first off, I want to shout out to Beyond Neptune and to you for giving me this fine piece of merchandise.
Merry Christmas.
That's right. Beyond Neptune cup.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck.
It's a comfortable cup.
It's just fine.
Dude, it's fine. It's a comfortable cup, dude, and it makes a nice mixed drink. I think it'll hold at least a beer, maybe a beer and a half.
Yeah. And the beer that I have in here, it is by Rheingeist, and it is the Cheetah Lager.
That is a good one.
Yep, and
I like Rheingeist. This
is the Jungle Cat limited edition for the Cincinnati Bengals. So really cool artwork and stuff in here.
Well, since you're showing that off with the Cincinnati Bengals, why don't you show us your Bengal box from Grippo's?
It's way over there.
Oh, you clown.
It's way over there. But if you guys have a chance, if you like Grippo's, either you love them or you hate them, pick you up one of those special edition. No, I don't like that. Anyway, so so Rheingeist, 4.8% alcohol, real light beer. It's a social drink. It's light and airy, social drink. You can drink a bunch of these and not get tore up from the floor up. The flavor profile is more like Budweiser to me. Not exactly, but similar to Budweiser, but light. So I'm going to give this thing a 4.5. Nothing really wrong with this. It's just really light in alcohol content.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll have a beer with you tonight.
All
So,
right.
give you a general idea. No fronting. What's your rating on that beer?
4.5.
4.5. I would give the Cheetah a 4.52. It is a very good lager. I like Rheingeist. So going with a beer tonight myself. What thing I'd like to share with everybody real quick is I'm a large guy, and because I'm a large guy, I am extraordinarily large at times. So my
That's what
max
she said.
my max weight has been at times 350 in excess. Okay. Um, because things are hurting a little bit more, and I've done a lot of cooking and eating over the fucking summer. We're getting ready to go into the holidays and eat like fucking crackheads too. So I'm on a juice cleanse. So I'm not actually having any physical alcohol this evening, but I am going to have one of my alcohol free beers from Brewdog. I think it's their Elvis Juice non-alcoholic. This is a nice beer. I really like I got to be honest with you, Brewdog's alcohol free beers or non-alcoholic beers, they're a great fill-in. So say you go buy a 6-pack of these and a 6-pack of some regular beer, right?
Mhm.
If you drink that 6-pack, you get a little bit more through the night if you want to intertwine these into your thing without getting as messed up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think this comes in at 2.5 carbs,
Okay.
only 20 calories.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, they're nice, man. They're nice. You're obviously going to be able to tell the difference that it doesn't have alcohol in it. But and I give this beer. Give me 1 second here. Really nice grapefruit on the nose. Nice grapefruit flavor off the rip. Very hoppy. Not overly hoppy though. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 4. And you know what? I can only be fair giving it a 4 because this tastes good enough that I would want alcohol. So
yeah.
uh
I don't
there it
think
is,
that's the
folks.
design, but yeah.
Once again, the Brewdog Elvis alcohol free.
How about that?
All right, well,
Cool.
let's talk about some things we've seen in the news, man.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Joe Satriani and Steve Vai are going out on tour.
Fantastic. I can't
think
wait.
I think I'm gonna have to do what I can to take that in.
Yeah.
Like I really think I'm gonna have to, dude. I I don't think it'll happen again anytime soon. And I'm getting up there in my age, and that's the kind of concert that I can kind of sit back at, especially if it's a seated venue. That would be great,
Yep.
I don't mind standing, but it'll be a good show, man. I just want to watch those guys work. I am a huge. I probably turned you on to Satriani.
Probably.
Yeah.
I was already a Vi fan from Crossroads, so
Yeah.
the movie Crossroads.
Well, plus
and
he
of
played
course
with
his
David
stuff
E.
with
Roth.
David. Yeah, absolutely.
So
and that they're going to do some songs together, and that's just going to be
I hope
magic.
They do what I've seen those guys do before, in other situations where they jam fucking Voodoo Child. Oh, I would fucking flip nuts. Or I've seen them do Frankenstein.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, oh. Man,
so listen, whatever they're going to do, it's going to be good.
Absolutely.
Bottom line, I would not miss this show. If you are a guitar fan or a fan of either one of these two or both of these guys, this is your show.
Yeah.
You better go see it.
Yep.
Vi's, or not Vi, but Satriani's also doing something with Sammy Hagar, Michael Anthony, and Jason Bonham.
Yeah.
They're going to be doing a tribute to the all things Van Halen, man. That's going to be that's going to be something.
Yeah, now they're saying it's not going to be an outright tribute to Van Halen, but it's going to be very heavy on the Van Halen tunes. So I'm sure it's going to be a lot of or some solo Sammy stuff too, which he's got some good solo stuff
dude,
too.
Here's the thing: you've got a bunch of guys there that are capable of playing anything, so they could pull out anything, like any Led Zeppelin.
Oh yeah,
they could pull out any Satriani, any Vai, any David Lee Roth era stuff. I think that'd be the ultimate slap in the face. Dude, I think that'd be the ultimate slap in the face if Sammy Hagar just said, "You know what, Dave?
Start singing Yankee Rose.
You've been a dick. You've been a dick to me for years, and I'm gonna fucking pull your shit." I would love to see Sammy Hagar go, "I'm just a gigolo, and everywhere I go." Dude, that's my favorite David Lee Roth song, dude. I know it's crazy, but it just really is. Like that every time I hear that song, man,
it's one of my favorite songs to karaoke. I love that song.
Me too, dude. I'll do it every once in a while. And that's the only Dave I could ever do. I can't do too much. I can't get into the real high stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love. By the way, and so we've got that side of the coin of the proverbial Van Halen coin. Dave Lee Roth is still releasing these songs here and there on YouTube. Just bad. And I'm a Dave guy. I'm a
Dave guy too, man. But something changed.
Bad.
Something along the way changed in Dave's life to make him want to be the Las Vegas Jimmy Buffett.
But it's even worse,
dude. Listen. He thinks. I don't know what he thinks. I love the man. I absolutely love the man. And if this is what he wants to do and it makes him happy, so be it. Sure. But you know what?
I'm not buying it.
There's a reason why the Van Halen brothers have been as reclusive as they have been. They want to protect the fucking brand, dude. Mm-hmm. There are people out there that can easily do, like, I watched some of those last shows where they went on tour with David. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, I would never ever wanted to, like, if I paid the money that they were charging for those tickets and went and seen what I saw,
I liked it.
I would have burnt the fucking village down.
Now, dude. Listen, Dave's never been a great live singer. But man, it's just magic. When those four are together, it's just magic, man.
I'm not going to say that it's not, man, but here's the thing. All the shit went down with Dave. I don't know what their fucking big beef is with Michael Anthony. It rather pisses me off because Michael seems like a pretty laid back fucking dude.
So there is, I'm blanking on the name of the book, but basically Michael Anthony has been the redheaded stepchild of that band since the beginning. Back in the 80s, they were trying to kick him out of the band. They were trying to restructure his contract. So he wasn't getting shit off royalties or anything like that.
Wow.
Because he was lazy and he doesn't do anything. He doesn't contribute anything to this band. And that was Eddie, Alex, and Dave. Which is just absolute horseshit. Absolute horseshit.
I would take Sammy's side in that argument.
Oh, absolutely. No, Michael Anthony is a stand-up guy, and I think his biggest problem was he just never stood up to him because he was just fine with whatever. So,
and you know what? He may not be a confrontational guy, dude. It's not worth it. Sometimes it's not worth it, dude. But at the end of the day, they ran this guy through the mud, and he's on every quintessential album that mattered.
Absolutely. I don't know if you remember this or not. But back when Michael Anthony left the band to join Sammy, for a hot second, they erased Michael Anthony off the website. So if there was a picture of Michael Anthony on Women and Children First, he was off of it.
What?
Yep. On the back picture on, or yeah, the front picture on Van Halen 1, gone. They erased him. Now, obviously, eventually they put him back, but there was a time as soon as he quit or whatever actually happened, they erased him.
Damn.
Eddie Van Halen, he was a phenomenal guitar player and stuff, but them guys are shady as shit, and they got some issues, internal issues, and Dave ain't no saint either. So
no,
but yeah, Michael Anthony
and
deserved better.
And what's sad is, dude, like the Sammy Hagar era was not my favorite era. That was my wife. That's my wife's favorite era.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, I have nothing against it, but like Sammy doesn't sound like Dave.
No,
and it'd be nice if they got along well enough to fucking say, you know what, the man has passed. Maybe bring, I don't know if Alex is in any physical shape to do anything, but maybe bring him out for a couple songs a night and just really give Van Halen a send off the way that they deserve. Put it to fucking bed.
Yep. So there was talks. There were heavy talks of a Van Halen tribute show. Jason Newsted actually broke that out because they asked Newsted to play some of the bass on some of the stuff, and they had Sammy was on board, Michael Anthony was on board, Alex was on board, Wolfgang was on board. Everyone was on board except for Dave. He fucking ruined everything. Dave said absolutely not. He's not doing it.
Why?
Because he didn't want to share the stage with Sammy. Dave is also the reason why A Different Kind of Truth, their last studio album, that's why it's not streaming, because he doesn't like the album. So he refuses to allow it to be streamed. So if you don't have a physical copy, or obviously you can find it on YouTube, you won't be able to get that album.
Wow.
Because Dave.
What'd they leave him? Did they leave it all up to him?
Well, he has a say. He has a say in any stuff that he was involved in.
What about, like,
as far as the tribute concert, there has to be something in there where he's got some sort of controlling interest in something with Van Halen. I don't know what it is, but why couldn't there has to be a reason why they couldn't put the tribute show together without Dave if Dave didn't have if Dave didn't have any controlling interest in it, they should have just went with it. So I don't know.
Well, that's something else to talk about. I mean, like, I find it very strange we live in an era where other bands can go out and perform other band shit and make money off of it. I mean, think about it. Aside from Michael Anthony, if they went out and did any Van Halen songs, they're making money off of Van Halen songs, touring off that.
Well, you're allowed to perform any song live. Now, you cannot sell a record. So say you did that live show, you can't sell a record of that live show unless you have permission from all the songwriters, all the contributors.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can perform any song you want.
I don't know, man. That seems very, but that's what I'm getting at, is we live in an era where bands who weren't, like, let's take a for instance, Quiet Riot. Quiet Riot has no original members, and they are touring.
Yeah, I don't like
I don't either.
I don't like it.
I don't either. I mean, let's be honest, man. You know, Foreigner was out there with one original member. The whole thing was restructured.
Yeah.
You know, that you got all new players, you know, and one guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't get it.
I don't know how you get away with it. I mean, if that one guy controls the interest, I get it. If he has the right to say, hey, you know, this is I'm all there is, and this is I run this whole show now. I get it.
Yeah. If you can make money, sure, but
Wow.
Who else is going out on tour?
Shit, I don't remember.
Wasn't it Extreme and
Extreme and
in Living Color?
We saw Extreme and in Living Color going out on tour. That looks like it's going to be an interesting one as well.
Yeah.
What else did I want to say? Dolly Parton's album recently dropped, didn't it?
No, it's going to drop this Friday.
Yeah, Dolly Parton's album drops this Friday, her Rockstar album. And then what else did I see here that was some pretty interesting news? Celebration of the anniversary of the Typo Negative Bloody Kisses album. What else? There was a few things that I saw, man. There was a lot of cool stuff. But do you have any news?
Let's see. Today, this is what, the 14th? Yeah,
It is the
14th. Jay-Z in 2003 released the Black Album, which included one of my favorite songs of his, 99 Problems. Let's see. Lauryn Hill went number one with Doo-Wop, That Thang, back in 98. Neil Young released one of my favorite live albums, Live Rust, in 1979, right off the heels of Rust Never Sleeps. Happy birthday, rest in peace, Frankie Banali of Quiet Riot. He was born today in 1953. And Run from Run DMC was born today in 1964. So happy birthday, guys.
Whose house?
Run's house.
Whose house?
Run's house.
Nice. So speaking of Lauryn Hill, you mentioned something there. So she's out on tour
Is she really?
doing some shows, and I have seen a few different incidents where people say they're walking out of her shows. I also seen some interview information where there were supposed to be people that would work with her, and she's become very, very difficult to work with. But I've heard this sentiment for years about how she's a bit of a difficult person to work with, and you know, this is the first thing I'm hearing about people walking out of shows because they're not happy with the way things are being performed or something to that effect. I don't know. But at the end of the day, the artist reserves the right to do the show how they choose to do the show, right?
Yeah, but if it's crap, they have the right to walk out.
And you know what? You know, that's I guess a risk you take when you buy a ticket.
Yep.
You know, it's unfortunate you're not going to get to see what you want to see, but you know, they're still there putting on a show.
I walked out of Green Day.
Really?
That was fucking terrible.
Really?
Terrible. Yeah. This is during the Insomniac tour up in Cleveland. Fucking terrible. Walked out.
I walked out of Limp Bizkit.
I could see that.
They were on the Family Values tour. They headlined and they hit the stage, acted like a bunch of fucking assholes, invited everybody to come down from the fucking shit. Everybody come rushing down, and the security guards went ape shit. Like, nope, go back to your seats. Nope, go back to your seats. It's like, all right, cool, I'm leaving.
Yeah. Did you ever see that Woodstock '99 documentary on Netflix?
I've heard about it.
You need to.
I know that they caused a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Fred Durst was a prick.
Yeah.
Fucking prick. He caused all that shit. He was he was the straw that broke the camel's back.
A lot of people say that he was.
Anyway.
Well, I like to think personally that I've grown up a little more than listening to that era of music.
I do like that album though. chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water. Fuck.
It had its
So good.
place, man. It had
Dude,
its
it
place.
still holds up. I don't care. It holds up.
Man, it had its place, dude.
Fucking listen to that album again. So good.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, with that being said, that's the news. All right, and we're done with the fucking news. Let's get on to these reviews.
Fucking news.
Damn.
All right. I think you went first last time. So.
All right.
I will do the honors.
What do you got for us, sir?
Well, my friend, you gave me Saint Vitus, and it's their third studio album, Born Too Late. It was released in October of 1986. Now, before I get into my review, what do you know about this album? Why do you like this album? All that stuff.
Well, let me pull it up because I will say this. That opening track, excuse me.
Born Too Late?
Born Too Late. Also the title track is just a groovy and heavy toned song. The lyrical content, man, is like, it just kind of reminded me of how I felt in high school, you know? Clear Window Pane. Oh man, what a killer little tune. Dying Inside, HAAG, Hell Ain't a Game, The Lost Feeling, The War Starter. Did you get the CD reissue?
Yep.
So you listened to Thirsty and Miserable, Look Behind You, and The End of the End.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, it's a pretty dense track, and I really like, obviously they're taking a heavy Sabbath influence on this album. But I just really, there was no frills, man.
Definitely no frills.
It was just a raw album, and that's what I really like about this album.
Yep. So yeah, I would say, to your point, this is an interesting blend of Sabbath, like a punky Sabbath. There are some punk elements to this album. A lot of people say that this is their best effort that they put forth. I haven't listened to enough of them to, confirm or deny that, but this album is just very punk doom. And again, definitely some heavy influence on Sabbath here. The first track, that Born Too Late, I thought it was a little too plotting. I like the lyrics in it, though. I thought the lyrics, and I understand why you said, this is how I was feeling in high school. Because, it was like that, being kind of the outsider. And you're like, no, man, and I was born too late. I fit in then. You don't fit in now. But, lyrically, really cool. I don't think this is a great opening track. I think the better opening track would have been Clear Window Pane. Clear Window Pane to me was a better opening track. I'm all for, up tempo shit, especially when you're trying to capture an audience. But since this is kind of in that doom genre, I get maybe why you wouldn't do that. See, Dying Inside, a little too long for me, but again, for this genre of music, I get it. The War Starter, fucking standout track, absolutely banger song. I love that song. And Look Behind You was really nice. Thirsty and Miserable, love the lyrics in that. Love the lyrics in Thirsty and Miserable.
Wino's a good songwriter, man.
Yeah.
Like he's also in a band now called The Obsessed.
Yep. Did you know that Thirsty and Miserable was a Black Flag cover?
I did not. Nice.
Yep. So, really, and Look Behind You is a really good closing song for sure. It's not a well-produced album. It's to your point. It's very raw. That garage punky sound. mixed in with some doomy Sabbath stuff. Even sonically, the singer's voice had some elements of younger Ozzy.
Wino, yeah,
Yeah,
he's a nut, dude.
yeah. Uh, all in all, it's a good album. I don't know if I'm actively going to go out and listen to more of this stuff, but I wasn't disappointed in it. So for me, I'm probably going to give it I'll give it a 7. I'll give it a solid 7.
Oh, 7.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. Again, the standout tracks for me: Clear Window Pane, The War Starter, Thirsty and Miserable.
Yeah,
And that's half the album were standout tracks.
It scores a little bit high for me, a little higher for me.
Mm-hmm.
About an 8.25 for me.
Okay.
Just because it's a really good album and I want to learn more about them. I know that they've went through different members. I think mainly singers. Kind of like the Candlemass thing, where they've gone through some players.
Yeah, very similar to Candlemass.
Yeah.
Sonically.
Oh yeah. I can see that. But yeah, I like the album. I was doing some I was listening to a band called Shrine Builder, and this is a super band made up of guys from already established great doom or sludge bands. Wino from Saint Vitus, and obviously the Obsessed now. I think we had him on guitar and on vocals. You had Al Cisneros from Sleep on bass and vocals.
Cool.
You had Dale Crover from the Melvins on drums.
That dude's everywhere,
dude. And you had I want to say Scott something. No, maybe I could be wrong. Singer guitar player from Neurosis. Anyways, the album that they made is a phenomenal album. And I don't know that I've given you this album. No. Have I given you the Shrine Builder album?
No.
You know what? That may have just changed my whole thing tonight. So,
oh boy.
No, dude, this is God, man, it's a good album, dude. Like it's like okay. I can't even tell you. Like I think you're going to dig this album. I know you're not into a bunch of the doom stuff, but there's so many good players on here doing so many good things. Mm-hmm. Like it's a good album, dude. And it'll never happen again. Never ever happen again.
Okay.
So yeah, but I was checking out Neurosis and I was checking out Saint Vitus. I wanted to hear the stuff that Wino had worked on, and this was the album that I tuned into. I was just sitting at JCPenney working security one night. It was like, all right, I'm gonna check this album out, and yeah, fuck yeah,
cool.
I liked it. 8.25. Yeah. You get it a 7. Not a bad album.
Yeah. No, it's not bad. Again, it's not my general cup of tea on it, but there was some cool stuff on there for sure.
Yeah,
and definitely. I do like that it had more of a punky feel to it. I'm more on that punk side than the doom side.
Well, you like stuff that is a little more upbeat. I get it.
Yes,
I totally get it. You like stuff a little more upbeat, stuff that you can understand the lyrics, something that you could tap your toes to. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I get it, but I like sharing this stuff with you because there's so much, in my personal opinion, there's so much really good stuff out there. Because I love the genre, obviously, but I think there's some cool stuff out there that you should definitely check out because, at the end of the day, you wouldn't disagree with me. Sabbath and Zeppelin's where it all started.
Yeah.
And those, you had the more upbeat stuff with Led Zeppelin and the more downtrodden stuff from Sabbath. So you got to find your balance there, man. And some of these guys, the way they balance some of this stuff out is like pretty crazy, man.
Yeah,
like, pretty fucking crazy. Like you said, I can feel the punk doom thing that you got going on there. Exactly. And maybe that's why I like it because I love both genres of music. You know what I mean? So, yeah, good review, man. Good review. Solid 7, huh?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
So, I'll move forward, Bill.
Yeah.
See. I was
I'm
talking to my
Bruce.
boss. I know. I was talking to my buddy, my boss earlier today. I'm sorry. I've been I'm going to be honest with you. My mind is not all here tonight because it's focused on this pain in my back, dude. Like I'm in a lot of fucking pain. And I talked to my boss, Bill, earlier today. So
We've been
anyways,
friends for over
shut
40
up, Bruce.
years.
Enough. Anyways, do you have any information on this album before I go ahead and give my ramble? Apparently you like to say some things about the album.
Yeah, absolutely.
So release dates and all that other good stuff.
Absolutely.
What did I have?
You had Jimmy Buffett's final studio album, Equal Strain on All Parts. It was released November 3rd, so just earlier this month. This thing actually hit. Hold on. It actually hit number 1 on the U.S. rock charts, and number 2 on the country charts, number 2 on the independent charts, and number 8 on the Billboard 200. So, I'm sorry, number 6 on that. So
that's not bad, man. I can see why I did.
Yeah,
I can see why I did.
Yeah,
hey, there's a lot of parrot heads, dude. There's a lot of parrot heads.
Oh yeah, and I think there was some really good work in here, and then I'll let you do your thing on there. But that's kind of the general information on this bad boy right here. Unfortunately, he was writing this while he was battling Merkel cell carcinoma, skin cancer. So, but he, and to me, you could actually kind of tell where his voice wasn't as strong in some of the vocals to me. But man, go ahead.
All right. So knowing that he was struggling with his illness before he passed, doing this album, first things first, do you think that that skin cancer thing is from him being down in the sun all the time, man?
Might have something to do with it.
It might have something to do with it because he was always in tropical weather, man. But at the end of the day, there's people that live their lives down there all the time, and that doesn't happen to them. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, Jimmy Buffett, Equal Strain on All Parts, was my album, obviously. And I will say, if you're a Buffett fan, don't walk, run and go pick up this album because this is everything you would expect from a Jimmy Buffett album. It is not bad by any means. I'm going to, preface that by saying that this is not a bad album. There are some throwaway tracks on here, some that I really didn't enjoy.
I would love to hear what you think your throwaway tracks are, because I had a couple of them too.
Honestly, man, give me one.
There was one that was actually cringy to me.
It might be the same one, dude.
I hope so.
It might be the same one. Give me a second, man. Let me pull it up. So the throwaway track that and I'm just going to throw this out there, dude. Bubbles Up. It's
really,
it was not one of my favorites. Audience of One was a throwaway for me. I digged it, don't get me wrong, but I could skip over it. Fish Porn.
Yeah, Fish Porn for me was the absolute worst fucking song on
worst track on the whole freaking album.
Trash.
I don't know why whoever signed off on that. I was not happy with that song whatsoever.
It didn't even make sense. It didn't make sense.
The album had a really good, that's the other thing I want to talk about. This album has a really good flow. Yeah. Absolutely great flow. So let me get into what I got here. I got University. It opens up with University of Bourbon Street. You get a little bit of that Bourbon Street musical feel in the background. It's just a fun song. You could see walking down or pulling up in a boat right there in the fucking swamp, University of Bourbon Street. That was pretty cool, man. I dig that a lot. I got a kick out of My Gummy just kicked in. Not my favorite track on the album, but I got a kick out of it because Jimmy's always been able to throw those weed references out there. And this is a for the times, man, because
Yeah.
if you're part of that culture, you understand that gummies are a big thing right now.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
The title track, absolutely, absolutely a standout track. Absolutely amazing. Classic Jimmy Buffett at his finest.
Yeah.
Um, like my dog. I loved this song. Love Me Like My Dog, dude. This song is probably one of my top three on the album. I loved it so much. I sent a link to my wife while she was at work. I said, "You have got to listen to this tune. This is a great Jimmy Buffett tune." And she replied back, this is like she enjoyed it. So
Yep.
Portugal or PEI, another standout track. Like
Yes.
this is a like at the point that they get to this track on this album, they are in full swing, rocking out, and this is how you want to see Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
If you could sit back on any two songs on this album, it would be the title track, and Portugal or PEI will give you everything that you could ever reminisce about Jimmy Buffett's life and out there touring and doing the stuff that he did.
Yeah.
Uh, great songs. Nobody Works on Friday. I liked it. Johnny Rum, liked it. Columbus, man, that's a deep song. And that's where we get to the point of the album where it almost feels like it's foretelling of what's happening to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and I'm glad, and I'm so glad I remembered this, because this reminds me of, like, there were two other times I can think of where tracks were laid down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And or an album was done, and it just really kind of was just like you knew this was their send off. That track and the way this album was done, but the Columbus was the stamp. The album as a whole was great, but the Columbus song was a stamp. Like, this is, guys, it's been good. You know,
Yeah.
look this way. You know,
Yep.
um, you know, and the ending track was great. But what I'm getting back to about that foretelling of things, I think of two people. If you listen to the track from Queen, "The Show Must Go On,"
Yes.
I've talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie Mercury is dying from the AIDS virus when he does this track. His body is ravaged. You can read this. Brian May's reported on this. They go in, he downs a good bit of vodka and says, "Fuck it, let's do the track," and takes the track in one take.
Wow.
So when you listen to that album and you listen to the words of that song, it's so foretelling because it literally sounds like he's saying goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
The other album I would say is David Bowie's Black Star.
Okay.
Very foretelling. Have you ever heard that album?
I have not. I wasn't a big Bowie fan.
Man, that's unfortunate. You need to find yourself some more Bowie in your life, buddy.
Mm.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you I'm a super fan, but man, there's a lot of good stuff out there. Like, my favorite Bowie tune is actually a collaboration between him and Trent Reznor. And
Oh, okay.
I'm Afraid of Americans. It's
Huh.
such a good tune. Such a really, really, really good tune. But yeah, this album's a bit foretelling, man. So if you're a Parrot head, this is definitely an album for you. Not a lot of bad tracks on this album. I picked out maybe two or three, and that's why I'm actually going to rate this album a little bit higher, man. Because if this is the last that I get from Jimmy Buffett, and I am a bit of a Jimmy Buffett fan, I don't own a bunch of albums. I do own his greatest hits, and I will tell you this is a solid album. I'm giving it an 8.25.
Nice. Nice. So just to kind of piggyback on some of that, Paul McCartney played bass guitar on My Gummies. My gummy just kicked in,
Mm-hmm.
and Emmylou Harris did some background vocals on Mozambique, which is a Bob Dylan song. So
Right.
The uh, the song "Like My Dog" is a Billy Currington song. So he's a country dude. from like the late 2000s. Um, so he wrote that. That was one of his songs. So that was a fantastic song. I'm with you. Fish porn is absolutely trash. Um, the other throwaway to me was probably Audience of One, but I did like that instrumental breakdown towards the middle of the song. I like that.
Yeah,
But
it's. I mean, it wasn't a bad song. It just not. It was just
wasn't
not
great.
one of
Yeah,
one of my favorites on the album. You know.
yep, yep.
So rest in peace, Jimmy. We really do
Absolutely.
appreciate all the years and wonderful music you've left us. And I'm sure you're sailing some waters somewhere, playing your guitar and
As
having
it
a good
should be.
time.
Yeah. What'd you give this album?
8.25.
I'm right with you. I might give it an 8.5.
Yeah.
But that's main. I did find that some of the production was kind of all over the place. There were some songs that sonically sounded better than others. And that kind of threw me off. Like some of it sounded a little thin.
Yeah.
Like man, that could have sounded better. That could have brought out more of the Coral Reefer band, or just something was missing on a few of it, or a few of the songs. Fish porn again. I cannot say this enough. I hate the song.
I
hate
didn't.
it.
I wasn't even. I wasn't even amused by. I wasn't even amused by the title.
No, it's
like
stupid.
I saw the title. I go, oh shit, here we go, because this is going to be one of those ones. Because Jimmy has those songs.
Yeah.
Jimmy has those songs that just are not as good, and like I'll tell you one that I could not stand for the longest time, but it eventually wore on me.
Yeah.
And it was Fins.
I like Fins.
Yeah.
Fins to the left, Fins to the right. I love that song.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, you said 8.25. I'm 8.5. It's right there. I have not been able to find this on vinyl yet at the stores that I've been in, so I'm gonna keep an eye out for it. I encourage any Buffett fan to pick this up. This is a must have for a Buffett fan. Absolutely must have.
Yeah, if you're a fan, that you're going to get everything you want on this album. I don't see why you wouldn't. I mean, it's classic. I mean, you get all kinds of eras from him. Like what's that big early hit that he did that most people don't you know it when you hear it, but it's not as big as Margaritaville. Come Sunday.
Oh, come Monday.
Or come Monday.
Come Monday, it'll be all right.
So you get that, you get some of that on this album. You get some of the Margaritaville on the album. You get some of a Pirate at 40 on this album. It's got all those vibes that you're looking for. So if you're a Parrot head, you'd probably give this album a 9.
Let me ask you something, because I read off the chart listings for country and rock and this, that, and the other. How would you categorize Jimmy Buffett's music? I was thinking about that today, and I'm like, dude, I don't know.
I would cruise. It's 110% cruising music. So if you're out there on a boat cruising, it's cruising music.
But I'm saying, as far as your standard, so is it country? Is it rock? Is it pop? Is it
island? Island.
I think the best way to describe it is it's his own style. It's his own brand.
He's
got a perfect mix of country. It's got a perfect mix of rock and island.
Yeah.
It's just so unique. It's familiar and unique.
I don't know, man. The light rock, because that's usually what would play him as a light rock station.
But dude, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, and I think
listen. They're not going to play Jimmy Buffett on QFM 96.
I bet they would.
No, they're not going to play Buffett on 96, but they will play Buffett on Sunny 95.
Will they?
Yeah. Come on, dude.
Okay.
It's easy listening.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. It's so light rock.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean,
I guess.
easy light rock, easy listening.
But there's
That's
there's a lot of country in this though.
there's a lot of different influence there. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, man. But at the end of the day, that's what it'd be categorized at.
Okay.
All right. So with that being said,
Yeah.
we are done with reviews. Let's get this other mess out of the way.
Yeah, get it out of there. What are you giving me?
I'm gonna
Did you make up your mind?
I'm gonna save you tonight, dude, because I was tossing around the idea of giving you that Shrine Builder album because it really is good, man. I really want to give that album to you, but I don't want you to feel like I'm dooming you to death. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give you an album that you should be familiar with.
Okay.
I actually picked this album up when I seen you.
Okay. You did?
I did.
So.
And I am going to give you Slash and Miles Kennedy. Slash's third release, Apocalyptic Love.
Okay, hold on. Slash Miles Kill. What's the album called?
Apocalyptic Love.
Apocalyptic.
Figure I'll spin something else in your ears aside from Doom for a second.
There you go. Cool. In there. Okay. Cool. So a little background on this album that I'm going to give you. So I was sitting there in Used Kids Records. Again, check them out. Anyway, I was sitting there just going through just piles of records and shit. And something was on, they were playing something in the background. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. And I just caught my fucking leg just going, just fucking bang. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, I'm listening a little bit longer. And I'm like, is that Greta Van Fleet? No, it's not Greta Van Fleet. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And I just kept, and then there was a slow song. I'm like, okay, that's really awesome too. And then they kicked in another fucking one. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. So this album was actually released on the same day that Jimmy Buffett's album was. And it is not the Plasmatics. Where the hell's it at? Here we go. And sir, I am giving you the sophomore release of a band called Dirty Honey. And the album is called Can't Find the Brakes. These guys, they just opened up for Guns N' Roses and Black Sabbath. I'm not Black Sabbath, Black Crowes.
I've actually heard of these guys. I haven't listened to them yet.
Yeah, no, somebody told me about them, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I didn't really listen to them, but when that came on at Used Kids, I was like, holy shit, this is fun. It's fun. I was like, dude, I gotta tell Tony about this. So,
really,
yeah.
So,
oh, and of course, again, like we were saying, it's got a lyric sheet.
Nice.
But wait, there's more on top of the lyric sheet, because everybody knows.
Now you heard it at the record store and you just decided to buy it. How much was the album?
$25.
That looks
colored vinyl.
Nice.
White.
Nice.
Colored vinyl always sounds better.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm
So
looking forward to it.
I can't
Dirty-
wait for you to hear this shit.
Dirty Honey Can't Find the Brakes.
Yep.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. All right, brother. With that being said, if you folks enjoy what you've seen here this evening, please hit that like, throw us a comment, and hit that subscribe button there for the bell. You can catch us on all your favorite apps as far as podcasting goes, over there at Spotify, over there at Apple Podcasts, over at Google Podcasts. You can catch us anywhere. We do thank you for tuning in. Bruce,
Yes.
you have anything else to say for this evening?
No, appreciate everyone for tuning in, continuing to support us. And we wouldn't be here without you. Tony, I love you.
Brother, I love you, and thank you so much for your help helping me get everything loaded out of Chris's house the other day and back over here. I hope your mom's doing better. I know that she had surgery there on her eyes, I believe it was. So
Yep,
just,
she can still kick ass. You just got to bring it to her.
if do me a favor, man. If Rhea needs anything, just let me know. We'll make sure that she has it. So
Yeah.
hey, listen, you know me. If she's here and she needs a hand, I'd be more than glad to help.
When you're here, you're family.
You're damn right. All right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are Hooked on Sonics. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you guys next week. Bruce, until next time, see ya.
Salute.
Oh,
What?
salute, sir.
There you go.
Have a good night.